Can I get an approval of the minutes from the March 10th meeting?
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the March 10th, 2025 board workshop.
Second.
All those in favor? All opposed? And the motion carries 6-0. And I'm sorry in that I said board meeting, but you corrected it, so thank you. Can I get approval of the minutes from the March 10th board meeting?
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the March 10, 2025 board meeting.
Can I get a second? All in favor? All opposed? And the motion carries 6-0. We'll now open the floor for public participation. The board welcomes and encourages public participation. We respectfully ask that you adhere to the procedures provided in the board policy, BEDH, public participation at meetings. Your comments should be limited to 3 minutes and must remain on either the topic noted on your sign-in form or a listed agenda item. Questions asked during public participations will be handled in accordance with board policy, BEDH. Ms. Taylor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Allison Diaz is here to speak about Chapin High sports.
I'm a junior at Chapin High School, and I love basketball. I've played for 5 years. I've attended camps, worked with personal trainers, and played travel ball. We started the season with 16 girls on the team. An average team has 12. The coach wasn't brave enough to cut girls. I worked 2 years to get on this team, and I had it all taken away by a coach who allowed the politics of the school to dictate his decisions. After the first few games, I sat down with the head coach and the 2 assistant coaches to ask what I needed to do to get on the court. I was told that I was, quote, too short, non-athletic, and untalented. They also told me I should be grateful that I'm on the team in the first place. This devastated me. Why was I confined to only playing in practices? I felt like I wasn't good enough, and I questioned my identity. My anger and depression affected my relationships with friends and family. I tried to fix the things the coaches said were wrong. I got a new trainer, and I started waking up before school to go to the gym. I would also work out again later during my weightlifting class, and I gave 110% in everything. The coaches praised my improvement, yet nothing changed. An assistant coach regularly compared me to another player throughout the season. After one practice, he said it must be frustrating that she, a freshman, was starting over me. He told me that she was an exceptional player, better than me, even though we are pretty evenly matched. I started crying, and with no empathy, he said, I'm not saying this to antagonize you. I just want you to understand where the coaches are coming from. I called my mom after, sobbing, and could barely drive home. After this event, my dad sat down with the head coach, athletic director, and principal. He told them how hurtful and manipulative it was to tell a young girl what she needed to do to change and then compliment her progress but not show any reward. The coach hung his head and admitted the issues and said he'd change things. That same night, we had a game at Irmo, and I didn't get in once. I wasn't alone. I know of other girls who talked to the coach about playing time, and many others confided to me that they felt no desire to play anymore. It eventually got to a point where I felt I had no place to turn to. After work one night, I bought a pack of sleeping pills. I felt like I had no other option but to force the coaches to see how badly they were making me feel. Thankfully, because of my walk with Christ, I couldn't bring myself to do it. But there are some girls out there who will give in to the pain and depression they are feeling. Ultimately, I decided to quit just before the season ended and forfeit my varsity letter. I felt a calling from God to let go of the sport and not endure the abuse any longer. The adults that you hire are supposed to form me for all aspects of my life, not just on a court. They are supposed to foster and encourage growth, not deny it. I was emotionally and mentally abused by the people who were supposed to mentor me. No coach should destroy the love a player has for a sport. I know I am not alone. I am not the only athlete who feels this way. This is a systemic issue within Chapin High, and it demonstrates favoritism and the politics of money that run rampant in this culture. So, I implore you, please look carefully at who you're hiring, because they foster the next generation of adults. If the people you allow into schools are supposed to be teaching kids to be leaders, what kind of example are they setting? This is not something to be taken lightly. This is a real serious issue that is alive in the school system. I am lucky that I didn't give in to my mental health because of what I was being subjected to, but there are others who will, and when that happens, that is blood on your hands. Thank you for your time.
Kim Murphy is here to speak about considering tax anticipation notes.
Good evening. Let's see if I can read my notes. I wanted to address the proposed policy change to increase the percentage in the reserve fund. Instead of increasing the percentage, consider using tax anticipation notes. The purpose for the reserve is because property tax doesn't start rolling in until November. So there are a couple months where there's not enough money to pay the bills. So using that reserve helps supplement that. Also helps assure for a favorable position in by rating agencies when borrowing for capital improvements. And if enrollment drops during the year, other factors that may reduce the revenue anticipated during the year. So back in 2007, the percentage was changed from 5% of the operating expenses to, it doubled to 8.33%, and I think it was pushed up to 8.5%. And the reason for that was because tax anticipation notes had been used when there was a 5% reserve. And the district at that time said, we'll increase the fund balance, and that way we won't have to have tax anticipation notes. There's a very small amount of interest that has to be paid with those, but the district policy was changed. In 2013, it doubled, which was fairly significant. And actually, you can look at your the amount that's rolling in from that now is in excess of the board policy, and look at your annual financial statement, and you can see the last 10 years what's happening there. Well, consistently, the revenue that's received is more than what's budgeted, which means the millage rate is set too high. And again, the money that it has accumulated makes it into the balance in the reserve, and it's a greater percentage than what's called for in board policy. That money came from taxpayers and is sitting in your reserve account earning interest instead of the pocket of the taxpayers or in their savings account earning interest. Instead of increasing the policy as what is being proposed to a greater percentage, consider going back to using tax anticipation notes. That way the taxpayers can keep their money in their pocket or savings accounts. Another reason for this request is that the general fund budget and revenue needed is advertised through your budget process to go towards education and educating children, but it hasn't been. When it is put in your reserve account, it's spent on capital projects. So again, please consider using tax anticipation notes, and that would prevent that from happening. Thank you.
Thank you.